Hello, dear ASUS. This is a rant or a reclamation and commentary for your state of your hardware and especially your firmware, so BIOS. First of all, I am not new to any regulations or overclocking. I was doing it for many years. You can see that I started HWBot on 2016. I would also like to say that this is my list of hardware library, and you will see in motherboards that I had a lot of ASUS boards and I know how they should work. I would like to also tell you that I'm a company that has started on 2015, and my main thing is delivery of computers, and I'm doing workstations for over 8 years now. So dear ASUS, I bought your TRX SAGE Wi-Fi motherboard, and this is the second motherboard like this I have bought, because the first one was 2 months ago and it was delivered with BIOS 402. As you can see, this was the BIOS I had originally for the previous board. Now this one is delivered with BIOS 701 or 702, we will see in a moment. This is faulty BIOS, which enables me to change it and enables me to use any USB port. The thing is, as I will be closing this PC, I will show you that I have, in fact, made a USB disk which is FAT32 and which is 2.0 USB device. Okay, 2.0 USB device. So for all your concerns about if I'm doing it right, I have BIOS named correctly, I have it on correct disk, and I still have problems. I will put this one to sleep, and now we will switch to this motherboard. I'm not putting the disk. I have 3 disks on which on each of them is the same BIOS with correct naming. Now I had 256 megabytes of RAM installed, but it didn't work all the time. I'm getting PCI Express lanes problems when I start EzFlash. This is not original card for this one. As this, I like your brand. This is the card that should be there. I also have taken out more discs, so there's only one disc, and on this disc right now is 2 versions of the same BIOS 803 with the naming for Flashback and with the naming which is original from the downloaded file. So we will start this motherboard with only 1 stick of RAM, which is listed on your QVL list. We have all sections connected for this CPU. We have also these things connected properly. We still have only 1 stick of RAM, one 1080 Ti graphic card. Now we are in this BIOS. Nothing is changed. This is it was resetted to defaults. So as you can see, the temperature is 31 degrees. This is 400 watt cooling made especially for this kind of testing. There is nothing wrong with the board, there is nothing wrong with memories, there is all the things like it. It took me 6 hours of trying to update the BIOS, because with this BIOS which you have delivered, it doesn't work with USB. It just doesn't work. And I will show you what it is doing just at the beginning. If I get to the tools section and start ASUS EzFlash A6, ASUS EzFlash 32. And in my video for Polish people, in Polish language, I showed that I'm waiting 20 minutes. And this code will change from 32 to 35, and PC will still not get into EzFlash. And I am having only this USB from Logitech, which is aggregated controller for my Logi mouse and my Logi keyboard. Nothing more. So this one is not connected to anything. Now, this will not change for 20 minutes and it will not run. But we will turn off this motherboard, which is in fact in price of used car. Okay, so but this is the main engine of a computer that is premium kind of computer. This motherboard is for the computer, for workstation, for public tender, for university. I have 7 days. 7 days. I have 7 days to make it running and correctly running right now for 6 hours. I've been trying to update BIOS. Okay. Now, you may say, I don't have USB. I will put in USB. One stick of RAM, one graphic card. If you put on this BIOS graphic card anywhere other than slot number 1, you will have D6, which is not normal for this kind of motherboard. It should run with PCI Express 2 also. This BIOS 701 is not allowing this motherboard to start with graphic card in any other port. This is abnormal also. This is 7960X, 64 gigabytes of RAM, one single stick. I have inserted the USB to the port. Tools, start EzFlash. Code 32 doesn't work, and it will not work. I'm sure about it, as I've checked with different graphic cards, different memory setup, different amount of M.2 disks, with connected 8 PCI Express and 6 PCI Express connector, and disconnected connectors of this, with on DisplayPort and on HDMI. Every single time this board fails to get to EzFlash. Okay, now what can we do? We already have this USB, which I showed you, with correct naming in correct, you see? This is a BIOS one. Okay, now we will push BIOS Flashback. And that's all. The motherboard will not start updating BIOS. The same problem I had a few days ago with TUF X670E plus TUF Wi-Fi. doesn't work from any of the disks. You have a failure in your firmware. There are problems with BIOS flashback. This is critical. This is critical, I repeat. Now, okay, it doesn't work. We'll take this disk anywhere where other, and we will try again. It wants to read. It cannot read. Why? This USB is fully operational. This USB is fully operational. This USB is a standard USB that I'm using to exchange BIOSes in boards for over 2 years. This motherboard doesn't read any of USB disks. 20, 30, nothing. Okay. Let's start it. Now, my USB is inserted not in the correct part, and I don't need it now. I just want this computer to start with any USB in other port than white USB. Any USB that has data on it. We already have a code 05 for extensive time. And the motherboard doesn't know what to do. It resetted again. The motherboard is unable to start with USB in other port than the white one. It doesn't read from the port 2.0, which is below the white one. It is unable to do anything. I cannot put my USB controller to 2.0 because it will not work. It will say it doesn't have keyboard. This is a new motherboard which was delivered to me 2 days ago. And yesterday I was trying to just start and put system on it from USB, which, as you can see, is used because this USB is the one that I installed about 300 systems from it. And we are here. We are in the system. Tools, ASUS EzFlash. 32. I'm an experienced user. I am even able to have things like this to connect M2s to other computers to prepare a disk, and I am unable to do anything. Just unable. How am I supposed to trust you, ASUS, that you are delivering me the good parts? I don't understand this. Anyway. I'm taking out USB 2.0. I'm taking out this one and putting this into 2.0 slot. In the meantime, I'll tell you one thing. This is not WS motherboard. It has differently slotted RAMs. This is a server board in this meaning, because servers pushes like this. So this is a server board. Why did you put on this things, so this VRM cooling, why did you put plastic on it and screw it with 5 screws? Why plastic? We want this all surface to be cooled. You put plastic on it, which should look nicely, but it's very bad for cooling. And this thing, if this has those plastic stuff, will be unfluently doing waves of RPMs. No, ASUS, wake up, wake up. This is not the thing I want from my beloved company that I built over 1,000 workstations with it. What is this? Okay, we have A0. The computer didn't start still. Every part of at the beginning was new. New CPU, new graphic card, 2 new M.2 disks. Everything is new. This PSU was used many times. This PSU is not faulty, and it get me to many world benchmarks and records. This is a great Dark Power Pro 12 PSU. As you can see, we had information. We don't have mouse and keyboard because it's in 2.0 USB. What is going on? What did you deliver to me? What is this? This is a joke? And now it works. We don't have any USB. We have only one stick of RAM. We don't have anything changed. Everything is from your loaded defaults. EzFlash. And we're off to code 33. 6 hours of my work is about $300. This is Fackup at the huge scale as for professional workstation hardware. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You can't make that up. Yes? Okay, I'll pause the video. I have other cable to supply power to other graphic card, and we will check on other graphic card, so you will be unable to tell me that this graphic card doesn't work properly. Now we have 4090 tough, your graphic card. This 1080 Ti was also your graphic card. Let's start it. Hello, we're in BIOS again. We have different graphic card, only one M.2. We have only this mouse and keyboard USB tools. Start ASUS EzFlash. Enter. Code 32. This is the 7th hour of my testing. How to correct your mistake. This is huge fuck up. Huge fuck up. I don't even have words. I'll be sending you information about this. I hope you will be able to very quickly respond to my problems. If not, I telling you that adventure company, which is me, and I'm building the world-class first workstations with huge coolings and great computing power, will not use ASUS motherboards for this kind of workstation, because you are getting to be unreliable. This should not happen in any time. Not ever. Not ever. Not for that kind of motherboard. Not for this kind of money. Not for 1,200 or something United States dollars. This is unacceptable, and for me, this is the very bad stuff. This is not one of, I don't know, 20. This is one of 2 motherboards like this that I had. One of 2. I'm starting to be getting this kind of orders right now. And I have 2 more orders till end of the year. And why should I go with ASUS? Why should I go with you if I have that kind of problems because you cannot put the right BIOS in it? This is strictly, I can see, this is not board's problem. I am able to overclock RAM on it, and it goes nicely. And even if I put everything like from the finger on the RAM section, and this starts in 10 seconds, it still doesn't have any clue how to operate with USB ports. How is it possible that you gave me motherboard with BIOS like that? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This is on the different level for that kind of stuff. Like I was buying an engine for a sports car because I'm manufacturing very high demand and high class sports car. But this car, this engine doesn't have any connectors to any working connectors to turbocharger, and so my whole stuff doesn't work. Thank you very much. I'm so disappointed. Just disappointed. How? How could you do this? Do better.